Most first-time homebuyers think their mortgage is their biggest housing cost. They're wrong. HOA fees are about to drain six figures from your bank account, and nobody warns you about it. I'm breaking down the hidden costs that are killing the American dream of homeownership. And trust me, this is way worse than you think. Let me hit you with the real numbers first. The average HOA fee in America is $250 to $300 per month. Sounds manageable, right? Wrong. That's only the start. By the time you factor in special assessments, reserve fund increases, and surprise repairs, you're looking at $400 to $600 monthly in some neighborhoods. Over a 30-year mortgage, that's $144,000 to $216,000 in HOA fees alone, on top of your mortgage. But here's what actually kills first-time buyers. They never do the math. They get approved for a $400,000 mortgage. The lender says they can afford it. They buy the house, then they get the first HOA bill, and suddenly they're house poor. Let me break down what actually goes into an HOA fee. When you buy a property in an HOA community, you're not just paying for your house. You're paying to maintain common areas, pools, gyms, playgrounds, landscaping, parking lots, all maintained by the HOA board. That's the legitimate part. You're also paying for insurance on those common areas, property taxes on those common areas. And here's the sneaky part: management company fees. These management companies charge 4 to 12% of total HOA revenue. For what? Scheduling meetings, sending you bills. That's it. Some of these companies are making six figures off communities of 50 families. Then there's the reserve fund. This is the HOA's savings account for major repairs. New roof, new parking lot, new pool equipment, that comes from the reserve fund. And boards are terrible at estimating how much they need. I've seen reserve funds jump 20, 30%, even 50% in a single year because the board realized the roof is failing. Now let's talk about the hidden costs nobody tells you about. Special assessments. This is the biggest killer. Your HOA budget covers regular maintenance. But what happens when the building inspector says the common wall needs $500,000 in repairs? The board can't just add that to the regular budget. They issue a special assessment. You get a letter. It says you owe $15,000, due in 30 days. Yeah, that happened to a client of mine in Arizona. She thought her $250 monthly fee was high. Then came the special assessment. She couldn't pay it. She had to take out a personal loan at 12% interest. This is what nobody talks about on HGTV. There's also the depreciation cost. HOA communities don't age well. The longer a community exists, the more expensive everything gets. Paint peels, roofs fail, parking lots crack. At some point, you hit a wall where a special assessment becomes unavoidable. I've watched $200,000 properties in HOA communities lose $50,000 in value because the board announced a $10,000 per unit special assessment. Buyers fled. Then there's the cap situation. Some states cap HOA fee increases at 10% annually. Others don't. In California, they cap at 10%. In Texas, no cap at all. I've seen Texas HOA fees increase 40% in 3 years. The board claims inflation, aging buildings, rising insurance costs. And technically, they're not wrong, but your wages didn't increase 40%, did they? Here's what first-time buyers actually need to do. First, pull the HOA documents before you make an offer. Most buyers skip this step. Don't be that person. You want to see 3 things. 1. The HOA budget for the last 3 years. Are fees increasing? By how much? If fees jumped 15% last year, that's a red flag. 2. The reserve study. This tells you if the HOA has enough money saved for future repairs. If the reserve study says they need $2 million but only have $500,000, a special assessment is coming. 3. The meeting minutes from the last year. Read them. Are there disputes? Is the board dysfunctional? Bad governance leads to bad financial decisions. Now let's do the real math. You're looking at a $350,000 townhouse, $250 monthly HOA fee. Your lender says you can afford it. Here's the actual equation. Down payment, $70,000. Mortgage, roughly $1,800 monthly. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance. HOA fee, $250 monthly. Utilities, $100. Maintenance reserve, $200 monthly. Total monthly, $2,400. But that's assuming the HOA fee never increases. Let's be realistic. It'll increase 3 to 5% annually. In year 5, that $250 fee is $290. In year 10, it's $330. Over 10 years, you've paid an additional $10,000 to $15,000 just from fee increases. Then add one special assessment. Just one, $8,000. Now your total cost of ownership is dramatically different from what you calculated. So what's the alternative? Option 1. Buy a house without an HOA. Single-family home. You maintain your own roof. You maintain your own landscaping. Yes, you pay for it yourself, but you control it, and you don't have a board voting to increase your costs.